Alright, today guys, I'll tell you guys how I lost 133 pounds. Well, the first 100 was 10 months, and then the other 33 was like 6 months. Okay, so the first thing is like how I gained the weight. So I gained the weight by I quit my job like 2018, and then I was home and I basically blew all my money on food. Like the savings that I had, I blew it all on food. And you may ask why? I don't know. I was bored. I was bored. My dog actually gained weight with me. He got fat as hell. R.I.P. Drago. He died like a month and a half ago. I miss him dearly, but the first day I was a wreck. But now I'm okay. I'm a trooper. You know, I know he'd want me to be happy. Um, Also, like, I'll get straight into it. The diet is vegetarian. Big surprise. I tried vegan. I tried keto. I tried like all the diets you could imagine. I tried them all, and they all sucked. This was the only one that I knew would work for me because I was eating bread, I was eating carbs, and I was full. I like being full when I'm eating. Like I don't really eat too much breakfast or lunch. I like eating like maybe like 3 o'clock. 12 is lunch, but 3 is like a later. So basically, and also this is another key thing. Drink your water before you eat. Half a bottle of water before you eat, not after. You always hear people say like, "Oh, drink your water before you eat. Drink your water before you eat. Don't drink water after you eat." I was like, you know what? I was like piecing together like stuff that everybody was saying, taking a piece from here, a piece from there. And my uncle was the one who told me about this diet. He did it a couple years ago. Thanks, Adrian. Um, he told me about his diet a couple years ago. He did it and it worked. Um, And I'm not talking salads. I'm talking like you're eating bread, pasta, pizza, cheese pizza. You got pineapple pizza. That's what I had. Pineapple pizza. And I wasn't a big meat eater. I would like my ethnic background, like where I grew up, where I came from, kind of contributed to my weird like eating and food choices. Like I'm from Guyana, which is right above Brazil. It's like one of the only English speaking countries in South America. I think there's another country, I forget the name, I forget which one. Um, but my mom, she's like Amerindian, but in America you guys say indigenous, and Coolie. But Coolie used to be a derogatory term back in the day, but it just basically means East Indian descent. So she's Coolie and Amerindian Native American. My dad is black. So like growing up in like a mixed household, my mom, her dad is this Native American guy, Amerindian guy, Arawak Indian, and they eat a lot of cassava bread. They like stews and stuff like that, pepper pot, rip and stuff like that. If you know about it, you know. Um, so it was like mixed. My mom and her mom is Indian, so a lot of roti, a lot of rice, chow mein, and like the curries and stuff is mostly like the coolie food, the Indian food. Um, but when I was growing up, I didn't like the food. I like it now because I appreciate it now. Like I realize that like pizza and stuff like that, pizza, the KFC, um, the zingers or whatever, those chicken sandwiches, they're very processed. They're unhealthy. Um, so the mixture of food, and then there's also like tradition comes into it. A lot of bread and rice. But the thing about it is the bread and rice, the carbs is not a problem. It's when you eat the sugar with the carbs. If you want to eat sugar, don't eat like a big sandwich. Don't eat a cheeseburger, right? Eat a cheeseburger, fries, and a shake, and then hey, piece of cake or cheesecake. Don't do that. Like if days that you're eating like sweets, just eat that. Maybe some fruits. It's a balance really. So I was 133 pounds heavier, like I'd say a year ago, a year, maybe a year and like a year 3 months. I'm not sure what the timeline is, but I remember when I quit my job and I was home, and then I went back to my job like 3 years later. And I was 133 pounds heavier, and I was so nervous because I was like, oh shit, they haven't seen me in such a long time. I've never been this heavy before. I was like, screw it, like be strong, take everything in. This is just temporary because you could lose the weight back. You can. And I went back, 6 months, and it wasn't half as bad as I thought. It was bad because I was sitting in front in this chair. Like I used to have to. This is when during COVID, I had to be like taking temperatures, and there was this chair, so I was really heavy, you know, crazy heavy. And I was like, this chair used to be squeaky, and I was like, oh my god, this chair could break. When I was younger, as a friend of mine, and her chair broke in the lunchroom. It was so embarrassing. So I was like, oh, this chair might break. I told my dad. He was like, those chairs are heavy duty. They can handle weight. I was like, thanks. And every day I sit in this chair, I was like, I'm never going to feel like this again. And I remember there was like other occasions where I was like in a I think it was a restaurant or something. And these freaking, not a restaurant, like a fast food restaurant. And these kids came in, and I was like, oh shit, kids make fun. Kids are cruel, they make fun of thick people, fluffy people. And I was like, oh my god, I was so nervous. And I remember that. Because I was like, oh god, you know. And when I was doing not a diet, my lifestyle change, I was like, you remember how you felt. You felt uncomfortable. And for people who are fluffy right now, it's gonna get better. It's just a mindset. You could wake up tomorrow and just switch everything. It's not gonna be fun. And I definitely listened to like David Goggins. My uncle told me about David Goggins and like a collection of like things. And I was like, he was like, you got your own life to live. Like nobody's gonna come and do it for you. They can't do it for you. Everybody's saying stuff, but get up and do it for yourself. So I listened to David Goggins. I listened to my dad. I listened to my sister. My sister was like, I don't think you're gonna be able to get it back. Like nobody believed that I could do it because it was just too much of a difference. It was such a heavy weight, and to get the ball rolling, it was tough. It was like how okay, what's the maths? What's the mathematics to get this to lose 2 pounds a day? I said start it. Fuck it, I'll start it. So what basically ended up happening was I felt like eating doubles. I live in a like mostly like it's like a Guyanese, a lot of Punjabi, like Indian people around here. It's mixed, but it's mostly like Caribbean, South America. So I could walk to where I need to get the doubles from. So I got up. I remember that day. It was raining, and I was like, I got up at 7 because the doubles places, they open early. So they open at 5 a.m. because I think there's people like getting up early for like breakfast and like going to work early and stuff. So they open really early. So I was googling this place, Anil's. Anil's a roti shop. So I heard they got like best doubles in Queens, in Liberty. So I get up, I walk to Anil's. Right, it's not that far, not too far. Hit the doubles. Right, I'm walking home. It's a cold day, but it was kind of hot. Like it was like hot, not too cold, but it was raining. And I opened my jacket, and I went home. The next day, I got a cold. Me walking to that store made me get a cold. But that's what kind of got the ball rolling. Because when I was sick, it was like, I don't know if it was a flu, maybe just a cold. But I didn't feel like eating anything. I got you could put the best food in front of me, and I wouldn't eat it. Because I just didn't want to eat. I was sick. So I asked my grandma, I was like, Granny, could you please make me some vegetable soup with some potatoes and corn and maybe some sweet potato or carrots? Because I didn't feel like eating anything. I didn't feel like eating meat. She made it. I probably ate it like once. I couldn't eat. And then I get on the scale, because I check my weight every day, which is a little neurotic, erratic, whatever you want to call it. And my weight dropped to some place that I haven't been able to get in a while. I was like, oh my gosh, you're kind of moving. If you could just maintain this. But the thing about it, I was sick, so there's no way I could have maintained. When I got back my strength and when I felt better, your appetite is going to come back. So I was like, frick. So I just kept eating vegetarian because I didn't want to eat anything else. So I ate vegetarian. I was like, what? So I lost like 6-7 pounds, but I ended up gaining it back. But I was like, okay, your body went that low, so you just need to get back. Go another day, do the vegetarian thing, and it'll recalibrate and it'll try to get back down. Because my dad told me, like, once your weight, like, if you can maintain a weight for 3 days, your body is the new norm. So like I just wanted to get back down to that weight, so I did, and it was easier. So I was like, level up. I just kept like going lower. And the diet was, remember, you could eat bread, rice, pasta, just no meats or no sweets. So I was eating bread, I was eating doubles, I was eating a lot of roti. I would go to like the store, um, double store, the roti store, roti shop, and I get my order was I get a roti or dal puri with chana and salmon sauce. That was my shit. You know, that's what I would always get. Um, or maybe like doubles. Doubles is cheaper because I think doubles is like 125. So I get that. That was my order. You know, and I ate it so much I got sick of it. I don't even want to see doubles anymore. And I'm like if you want to eat like Italian food or like pizza or something, my order was um, a large pizza with baked ziti. No meat in it, just cheese pizza and baked ziti. I'd probably eat like 4 slices, and this is the Italian places. This isn't like Papa John's and stuff like this. So like the slices were pretty big, and you eat till you're full and you lose weight. Only thing I was doing was drinking half a bottle of water before I ate. Waited 2 hours till I drank another set of water. I would drink water every time I ate, and I wasn't eating. And when you drink the water before you eat, you feel kind of fuller quicker, and it's kind of like tricking you. And the narrative now is everybody's drinking like a gallon of water. I'm not a dietitian. Let me say that right now. A disclaimer: I'm not a dietitian. This is just what I did to lose the weight. My granddad and my dad told me. My granddad, my mom's dad, and then my father told me drinking all that water, it's not really that good for you. Unless, okay, if you're thirsty, drink water. But the gallon, like my granddad told me, he said, you know, like this boxer told him when he back in his days, that the way you gain weight is you drink a lot of water. If you drink too much water, you're gonna gain weight. The boxer told him this, you know. And I'm not saying don't drink water, just drink like as much as you need. When you're thirsty, drink water. But those are the two key points, you know. And I have a job now, and getting the job, you know, like I was saying with that chair, in my old job, it was like it sucked, you know. And you know, I went on the interview, and like my self-esteem was out the roof because I had just lost like um I think it was like 80 pounds, and I was like, you know, I was in the house all the time, like making Chris Evans videos, making like videos, so that kept me occupied. But like I said, my self-esteem was out the roof because I was like, I don't even care if I don't get this job. I'm gonna get it, but if I do, if I don't, it doesn't matter. Like, look what I did, you know. And like getting that self-esteem, getting your self-esteem to go up, getting your confidence to go back up, like you're like walking on a whole nother level. It was like I always had high confidence since I was a kid, but sometimes you lose it. You kind of like, oh, you know, like what happened? You know, I don't know what happened to me. And of course, if you gain a lot of weight, you know you're looking in the mirror, you know you don't look like what you did when you were younger, or like when you were at a lower weight. So building it up. So like I feel like overcoming and losing the weight, like it's just good. Don't do it for some guy. Don't do it for some girl, for some revenge body. I mean, get the revenge body. But you know what I found, like people who treated you wrong in the past, like karma gets them. You know, like no lie, it does. Like I'm not putting anything on anybody, but it comes back around. Like you hear something about somebody and you're like, oh, well, okay. Like, of course, everybody has like, you know, that person who bullies you in school, that person who was like mean to you when you were working, and you know, it's like, oh, screw them, you know. But like, let it go, because like, just live your life. But key points in this video, okay? Drink water before you eat, not after. Make sure like it's gonna be rough the first couple of times, like not drinking it after. But there's something to do with, like, my dad told me this. He told me when you're eating and your body's like digesting, he said, you know, it's something to do with chyme. Your body's like making the food into like a soup, and it has to distribute it to your whole body, your cells and stuff like this. So when you drink that water, the digestion process starts all over because it has to rework, you know. So I took that into consideration. I was just taking things from like what everybody was saying, you know. Do this, do that. I was looking at like actors. Like one of my favorite actors is The Rock. He, you know, he's into bodybuilding and stuff like this. You know, I love that he was brown. He was so cool. yes, he's very handsome, but it's more like a role model, you know, role model. Because he was talking like he had $7 in his pocket, you know. He came from, you know, humble beginnings, you know. And his dad was a wrestler and stuff like this, but I remember he was saying, you know, like just listening to him, Hugh Jackman, when they basically like, you know, have a have a set diet plan that you're going to do, but don't be too strict where it's like you're not enjoying life. Because imagine you're looking real good, you're looking real cute, you know, good looking, whatever, but you're not happy because you're not really enjoying yourself. So like 6 days out of a week, I do like, and it's not even like a diet. You're eating bread and pasta. You're eating rice. You're eating like, I was eating like vegetable now, main. What's that thing called? That Korean rice cakes? Tatabaki. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but that was really good. Like I said, vegetable pizza. Um, yeah, I just like you get creative. You like I was eating Impossible Burgers from Burger King. Like it wasn't just like all this like expensive food. And I think being vegetarian is a little easier because, well, I did it with like I used to eat a lot of Cheez-Its because my sister was like, "Oh my gosh, son, Shadana, you're eating straight Cheez-Its." And I was like, "It's keeping me full. This is what I want to eat." But as you lose more weight, like my dad told me this, he said, "Okay, once you're losing weight, you lost enough. Your body's like it's tracking you. It knows what you're about to do. She's gonna drink water. She's gonna take a walk. Maybe she takes like a walk around the block. Maybe 10 walks around the block. You know, um, it knows what you're doing, but you have to switch it up. So like times when my weight would plateau, I would eat some meat for a week, and then my weight would drop again, and then it's like, oh, something new. You know, I just keep doing that, and then looking back on it, like 130 pounds, it's like a whole person, you know. I was like, maybe it didn't hit me. I mean, it kind of hit me. That's why I wanted to make this video just to help someone vegetarian. It's what worked for me. Remember, I disclaimer again, I am not a dietitian and I am not a doctor, but I'm just showing you guys, telling you guys about what worked for me, you know. I remember do it for yourself because like you live longer just to health reasons. You feel better when you wake up. When you wake up, you're comfortable. You're not like tripping. I remember I used to have to take the bus, and I didn't want to take the bus because I was like, oh my god, I'm not gonna fit in one seat. Also for loose skin, I don't have loose skin because I did. My sister told me that sweet almond oil, it keeps your skin tight, like it tightens. I was using pumpkin seed oil, and I used like 2 gallons of almond oil on my whole body, you know, 2 gallons, and I got it from Amazon. I was also like, after the 50 pounds, I started weightlifting. I didn't go to the gym. I don't like the gym at all. Maybe I might start going now because it's like summer. Maybe get a little more ripped up, you know. I also started taking jujitsu. I want to find a good jujitsu teacher. It's just for like New York, cause this place is kind of crazy. So takeaways from this video: make sure you drink water before you eat. Vegetarian. If you want to do it, maybe you could try whatever diet you want, but this is what worked for me, you know. Pasta you could eat. Just remember, no meats, no sweet. And it's gonna take time, but remember, relax. How I held myself accountable. I check my weight every day. I was like, okay, it's okay, not tripping. You know, you didn't lose as much. So be gentle with yourself, but hold yourself accountable and say, hey, we'll get it. We'll get it in a week. Set goals like I want to be this, I want to be that. You know, I prayed a lot, and praying like really helped. Keeping faith, you know. Keeping faith, and like my YouTube channel, like the Chris Evans videos, like all the videos I did, it just kept like kept me busy basically until like I was able to like, you know, and making those videos motivated me to get to like, because they're physically fit people. It just like motivated me, and it was something to do. It was fun. But yeah, thank you guys. Have a lovely day.